Coming up on COS Now, Iowa's Convention of State team looks to break their own petition record at the annual state fair, and Mark Meckler was in high demand on radio and television. All that and more up next.
What do we want? When do we want it? Now!
COS President Mark Meckler was in high demand as he responded to Amazon's TV attack on COS, as well as developments in the Trump administration. Here's a few of those clips.
Meckler, the president of the Convention of States. Very interesting to see, Mark, that Amazon now attacking with one of its documentaries this very idea of coming together to make our constitutional republic an even better place to live.
Yeah, it was kind of a shocking thing to find out about last week. I had no idea this was going on. They certainly didn't approach anybody from our organization. But I was actually told by somebody in the White House that this existed. They pointed me to the clip. And for some reason, they've decided this is the great threat to our Constitution. And really, honestly, we don't feel a need to counter this. Actually, I think this was excellent for our organization. It brought attention to the idea of a Convention of States. We were pretty happy with it. The folks who support Convention of States found a lot of humor in it and actually really enjoyed it.
The IRS commissioner has suspended some top Obama-era officials, and I want you to weigh in on this. Mark, tell us why this is happening and why it is so important.
Well, a little context, it's particularly important to me. I was one of the people that founded Tea Party Patriots, the largest Tea Party organization in the country. I watched a lot of my colleagues around the country get targeted by the IRS, abused by the IRS. Holly Paz and her compatriot, who are now have been put on administrative leave, were two of the people that we actually deposed during our litigation against the IRS. I knew exactly what they did. They knew exactly what they were doing. They knew it was unconstitutional. They knew they were silencing their fellow Americans, and they did it with impunity anyway. And though this is 10 years too late, I'm glad to see some justice perhaps finally being done.
This week is the famous Iowa State Fair, and the local COS team has already collected hundreds of petition signatures for Convention of States. Iowa holds the top 4 spots for most petitions at a single event, with the Kansas State Fair holding the 5th spots. Will Iowa knock Kansas out of the top 5? Could they top their all-time record? Stay tuned to find out. This month's episode of COS at Home featured our newest endorser, Indiana State Rep Craig Haggard, who also serves as a board member for the National Rifle Association.
What Elon Musk was proposing a couple months ago, where he was thinking about having another political party, do you think this is the best use of Elon's resources to implement the type of change he'd like to see?
I don't, because we've seen this in the past. We've seen other parties try to jump in, and good or bad, those parties, we know that in our lifetimes, it's probably not a viable solution. Right now, we're going off that financial cliff. And I don't think we have time for the viability of a third party, but what we need to do is take effective, quick action through a Convention of the States to stop the destruction of our country through financial ruin.
Have you checked out the Convention of States blog lately? You'll be encouraged by all the great activity. For example, the Connecticut team recently met new supporters at a wine club, and the North Carolina team held an educational event at a local library. A volunteer in North Carolina also spoke before the Wake County Board of Commissioners to encourage them to signal their support for COS.
Members, the federal government has overstepped its bounds, undermining local control and the sovereignty of we the people. They spy on us, micromanage our lives, dictate how we educate our kids, and spend far beyond taxpayers' means. That's why I'm introducing to you House Joint Resolution 379, currently before the North Carolina General Assembly. It's already passed the House. Please support HJR 379 and help restore constitutional balance.
And finally, here are some of my favorite photos sent in by citizens from across the nation, including in Indiana, Texas, Oklahoma, New Jersey, and Massachusetts. What was your favorite news item for this week? Let me know in the comment section below, and join me for the next episode of COS Now.